will stand. Okay. Keep yourself free. So you can record them. So it will be nice. They remember that they were happy one day in the class. Okay. Your hands are free. Anybody who has not attended my last session? So many of you. Okay. Okay, it's fine. We'll start. Ready, steady, go. For first time you can observe. At least there are a few volunteers this side. 3-4 volunteers this side who want to be happy. Who want to give happiness to their students. Everybody is looking on the left and right. Nan bittu, you rogli. Our bittu, our rogli. Yeah, volunteers. Please. How many of you did not raise your hands? It's okay, you come. What if the student says, I forgot? Yes. Quick. Now, please. Divya ma'am, please come Divya ma'am. ಅದೇನೋ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿದ್ರೆ ಏನೋ ಆನೆವಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಈ ಕಡೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದಿದ್ರು ಬನ್ನಿ. ಈ ಕಡೆ ತಕ್ಕಡಿ ಯಾಕೋ. Come. Who else was there? Come quick. We have very short time. Within that short time, I will have to cover too many things. Ma'am, if you can join. ಆದರೂ ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇದೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ರು ಯಾರೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂದಿದೆ. Ma'am in favor. Ma'am, join. So we are in the frame. Video हो जाएगा. Ready? And this is on.
Ma'am, Vishnu ma'am. This is काम. Later ma'am. Okay,
Ready na? Ready? Steady, go. One thing, you check whether the connection is to the kidneys or it is to the heart. When you communicate, you should ask yourself, am I communicating through my kidneys or am I communicating through my heart? If there is a natural smile, that means heart se wo log abhi baat kar rahe hain. Okay, ready, steady, go. Happy morning, happy afternoon, happy evening, happy night. You have forgotten. Louder. Happy morning, happy afternoon, happy evening, happy night. Happy Monday, happy Tuesday, happy Wednesday, happy Thursday. Once again, happy Thursday. Happy Friday, happy Saturday, happy Sunday. Happy January, happy February. Happy March, happy April. Happy May, happy June. Happy July, happy August. Bend a little. Happy September, happy October, happy November, happy December, happy summer, happy winter, happy rainy, happy spring. Hands like this, irrespective of. Hold it like this. Repeat after me. Irrespective of, in spite of, whoever the student is, whatever naughtiness he expresses, my happiness will always remain constant. We will do it in one flow and then the recording will happen. All of you are with me? You understood? It is morning, afternoon, evening, night. Then it comes to the weeks. Why should we always be only happy on morning, afternoon, evening, night? All the weeks, days. So we will start from Monday because Monday blues. Monday to Sunday. And then we will go for all the months. And then we will go for all the seasons. And then we will make an affirmation to ourselves irrespective of whatever the student is. Whether he passes and gives me 100% or he fails in 3 subjects and gives me a record there. But my happiness will always remain constant. Is that clear? Okay, ready, steady, go. Happy morning, happy afternoon, happy evening, happy night. What is not coming from there? I'll do it till 11 o'clock. Okay? Ready, steady, go. Happy morning, happy afternoon, happy evening, happy night. Happy Monday, happy Tuesday, happy Wednesday, happy Thursday, happy Friday, happy Saturday, happy Sunday. Happy January, happy February. Man, you किसी देर ऐसे नहीं होगा. Ready, steady, go. Happy morning, happy afternoon, happy evening, happy night, happy Monday, happy Tuesday, happy Wednesday, happy Thursday, happy Friday, happy Saturday, happy Sunday, happy January, happy February, happy March, happy April, happy May, happy June, happy July, happy August, happy September, happy October, happy November, happy December, happy summer, happy winter, happy rainy, happy spring. Hands like this, irrespective of, in spite of whatever the situation is, my happiness will remain constant. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. It's an honor to actually train the trainers and sometimes it is a little fear to actually train the trainers. It is not that all of us do not know whatever I am going to tell you today. All of us will know, but somewhere down the line, knowingly, we may not be very conscious in following it. So today's class is just to show a mirror how a good teacher can become an excellent teacher. So there are 2-3 aspects on which I would like to speak. Great is this profession as a teacher because there is a saying in all the religious books, among all the professions, one of the highest acclaimed profession is being a teacher. There is also stories which may not put it across in a very professional manner, but still the story says we have a judgment day. On this judgment day, when I am sitting across and my soul has to answer few questions, there is always a separate line made for teachers, and there very less number of questions are asked. And other lines are for everybody else, and for teachers there is a separate line. Because teacher's profession is considered as the most noblest profession. Let us also understand these wordings when we actually utter these words. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. From the Hindu spiritual angle, if I am trying to put it across, by becoming a teacher, you are considered much more bigger than Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara. And by being a teacher, you are considered much more bigger than their father Parabrahma, and that is the place that has been given to you the moment you go on to the class and occupy that pedestal called as I am a teacher right now. So a responsibility comes there. A beautiful saying in Spider-Man which can never be forgotten. When the grandpa comes to know that his grandson has been gifted with amazing powers, before he could take up the last breath, the line what he says is, my dear grandson, with great powers comes great responsibility. So the moment this power of being a teacher is being given to you, you will have to take it with great responsibility. And it's not easy to be a teacher. It's not easy to be a teacher when I am handling heterogeneous students. I am not handling homogeneous students. I am handling heterogeneous students. For a mother who has 1 kid or 2 kids or 3 kids, when she finds it very difficult to manage them, when you are given a group that is 40 plus, 50 plus, 60 plus, and you as a class teacher becoming their mother for the 8 hours of service what you do, it is very difficult. I know it is very difficult. And today in the Gen Z, it is still more difficult because we weren't actually influenced by anything. We were the blessed ones. The God had guarded us from all this, but today the youngsters are given openness to everything that can access. We used to think twice in order to know certain things, but today at a click of a button, these kids are able to access this, and with that huge, what you call it as a gigantic knowledge that is being poured onto them, it is difficult for a teacher to convince and put across your point. But still, today also research says, a student is more influenced by a teacher than the parent in the adolescent age. That means after he completes 16, 17, 18, 19, sometime even after 12 years when we evaluate a student, he is more triggered by what the teacher says than what the parents say. Most of the time till that age it was the parents who could trigger them for anything good or bad, but after that it is always the teachers who trigger them. It's very easy to and a little different to handle people from 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 years of age. But during the time of their, what we call it as adolescent age, when the body is changing and where their energy level is very high and they are consistently influenced by so many Gen Zs, it is very difficult to handle them. As I say, +1 and +2 is the most difficult phase of any student, and you are trying to handle it. Definitely, it is a small discussion we are trying to have. What is the best way we can handle them? See, today our Prime Minister is not speaking about academic progress in a manner that they become an employable person. They are looking at, can I bring entrepreneurs out of school? can I bring entrepreneurs out of college? This is a saying. When he made this commitment, he told that in 2047, that means 2047, we should not be considered as developing nation, we should be considered as developed nation. Hamara Bharat, Vikasit Bharat ka naam means we want it to be considered as developed Bharat. For that to happen, can I develop a training program in which the seed of entrepreneurship, a seed of what we call leadership skills, a seed of having excellent interpersonal skills can be sown right at the age of 11 and 12, because that is the time where the mind and their slate is very, very clean, completely white, and as a teacher, whatever we write, it can do wonders, it can do miracles. So, your age of what you are handling is the most sacred age. You just go back to your college days. You don't remember the engineering lecturer. You don't remember even the degree lecturer. Most of the time, you remember the plus 1 and plus 2 because you also know the turning point of anybody in their life is definitely going to be the plus 1 and plus 2 what they are going to do. And either this can break them or it can create future leaders for themselves. So today's session is, as a teacher, what kind of challenges are we facing? How have I tried to work on it? How have I tried to explain others? This could be the best way of doing it. That's all. But ultimately, your experiment is your experiment. God does not create duplicates. So the way your teacher means your colleague handles a particular student, you cannot use the same rules and regulations and try to handle your student because God does not believe in giving duplicates. Duplication is our job. God always gives unique products. Every student of yours is so unique, you will be wondering how did God take so much of time in creating so much uniqueness in every one of them. There is nothing common, few things may be common, but everybody is different. Everybody is unique. There was nobody like any student you have right now in front of you in the past so many multiple years which has passed. Billions of years that has passed, and there was nobody like him in the future, infinite years that is going to come, and right now also there is nobody like him. So, he is a unique piece, he is that masterpiece, he is that masterpiece, respected. God has thrown every student as a challenge in front of you because he somewhere believes you can handle it. See, in life, we don't believe in coincidence. Most of the time you say, out of coincidence I became something. No. God's books of accounts is not filled with coincidence. Everything is incidental. You may understand it as a coincidence, but let me tell you, anything that happens in your life was incidental, but right at that moment, what actions I am going to take will define how that particular situation can become something which is very fruitful, or that particular situation can become which is not so fruitful, or it can be devastating also. What I mean by devastating, we are people filled with both the emotions. We are very, very happy sometimes and we behave like Mother Teresa's. Somebody comes and hits on one girl, you will show again, second and third and fourth. Yes, those are the days when everything is happening right at home, everything is happening beautiful at home, your son has scored first rank, so you are in the peak of happy emotions. So anything the student does, any small cranky things, your mind is so calm and so much acceptable to all that, you will never ever react. But there are certain situations where things are not right at home, when things are very different at home. And during those days, even a very simple, forgivable mistake, you would have raised your voice, but you wouldn't know at that particular moment, your raising of voice would have hurt and dented him so much. It's very difficult to remove that scar from the child. There is a child in you also, but there is a bigger child in a student who is 16 and 17 years of age. You're blessed, you have the best of the best parents. Not all kids are blessed, they don't have the best and best of parents. And they don't have a security where you are given a security of no wrong thing shall enter you. But they are left free and bindas because their parents are actually working. they wouldn't have so much of time to guard them because their daily bread and butter itself will be their main objective. But in yours and my case, our daily bread and butter was not our objective. My mom was there with me even during my engineering days. But I see there are a lot of students, their parents have actually stopped being with them right at the age when they were 7th or 8th standard. So you will have a lot of such students who nobody would have corrected if what he was doing was wrong. And during those emotionally turbulent days, you would have overreacted and the student would have had that scar for a lifetime. Again, I am telling you, if you cannot become that Mother Teresa when you are a teacher, then we should not take up this occupation as a teacher, because the moment I become a teacher, I am not Brahma, I am not Parabrahma, I am much more than that. If I cannot, then I will not be a teacher. The moment I be a teacher, everything shall be forgiven. And let us not bother about how many people we can transform. And let us not feel inferior also that I was not able to transform this student. You and me, what are we? When Krishna could not transform Arjuna after one chapter, after second chapter, after third chapter, they say it was more than 10 years of Bhagavad Gita that happened, and only after that, after the 18th chapter, Arjuna was convinced to continue with the war. So why should we feel that we are actually a failure? It's okay. It's okay to fail. They would not listen, it's okay. But reacting to that, no. If I am a teacher, I should not do that. We will recollect the same story and then it will continue. Can I build leaders out of these students right from this age? That is what we call interpersonal skills. Interpersonal skills is everything put together. Trying to build confidence in the student, trying to build excellent communication skills in the student, trying to give problem solving skills in the student, trying to give them forgiveness attitude in the students. And for that, you should be an epitome of follower of all these principles. If I don't follow all these principles, I cannot actually talk, and people will not listen to what we talk, because people are actually more influenced than what they see than what they hear. So can I walk the talk? Whatever I am trying to put across, can I actually follow that sincerely from the bottom of my heart? If that cannot be done, then I am not in the right so-called profession. I should rework on myself and get into this profession with this kind of an attitude. Very important is confidence building. See, miracles are possible just by few words that we utter. Most of the times, miracles have happened just because of few words that we utter. When Jambuvanta told Hanuman, you can always fly to Sri Lanka, even Jambuvanta did not know in one flight, that means one jump is going to reach that place, but he told him thinking that if Ram is there, everything is possible, and he just put it across. And one of the writer writes, Jambuvanta was doubtful whether Hanuman will say yes, because whatever he is asking him to do, even Jambuvanta knew it is impossible. So sometimes that possible to impossibleness is just that word. It is just your belief system. It is all our mental block. Most of the time what happens, for a student, you should be the Jambuvanta. You should be there to go up to that student and tell him miracles are possible and it shall happen to you, and definitely he will await that miracles and it shall happen. That confidence building becomes very, very important. So that is where we will have to work on the students when we talk about confidence building. Let me share the same story because it would be a revelation for others. What I mean by confidence building? When I get a student, all the students would not be of the same manner. And there is an attitude in every one of us that we start judging a student based on his academic performance. Most of us do that. He's a first rank student, automatically there is a different way I would like to communicate with him. The moment I see he has failed in multiple subjects, the way I look at him and communicate with him, the tone, the voice, the pitch, the emotions, everything changes. This should not happen. You may not be doing it consciously, but on a subconscious level also this is happening without your notice. Record yourself and check. You will know that your attitude when you are talking to a person who always says yes to you, And when you're talking to a person who always says no to you, yes and no does not mean you ask him to do something and he has not done. Yes no also means if a student has failed in your subject. That means he has rejected you. That is what is your feeling. When somebody rejects you, what kind of anger you express, the same thing will be expressed here. But confidence building always says miracles shall happen if you can continue to believe in confidence. For that, we should see to it we will not dent our students with negative emotions. Very, very important. The story is just to illustrate that. All of you know about Thomas Alva Edison and even Albert Einstein. Both as a kids, they were very slow learners. Thomas could not even speak when he was at the age of 7 or 8 years. And it has been in all the books and records that is written about his story. And when his mother wanted him to enroll for a school, she goes at the right age when a student is to be admitted in the school. But what happens? The principal says, because he is not able to speak, we cannot consider. The person who is in charge of the admission is given one simple responsibility. Talk to the student, find out if the required knowledge is there, he is able to communicate, he is able to identify numbers, then we will take it. But if he is not, give him 1 year, let them prepare him for that, let him come the next year. It's a simple logic. So same concept was followed even for Thomas. It was no way different. Just because Thomas even could not speak, they told come next year. Mother took him next year. Again they told come next year because he was not up to the mark. When he was between 7 to 8 years, when the mother pleaded for an admission, she told, please take him into a school. If he does not cope up, you can always send him back. I want him to feel that he was admitted in the school. These were the lines the mother told. Admission was given. It was a conditional admission. The principal told, we are going to observe him for a month. If we find he is able to cope up, we will. So if he is able to cope up, we will definitely consider him. But if he is not able to cope up, we are very, very sorry. These were the lines told. Automatically what happens, when they started talking to him, he was not comfortable. But he was very smart. Smart in the sense that I want to learn, that was there deep in him. So if that can be created, miracles automatically will happen. And a confidence in it that he can do things will definitely work. But somehow after a week, after the second, third and fourth week, all the teachers unanimously told that, no, Thomas cannot cope up with these kind of students. I think you should excuse us, we cannot continue. All the subject teachers told the same. Now, endlessly, principal had to convey the same to their parent and tell them to put him into a special school. So what happens? That day when the principal wanted to speak to the parent of Thomas, he calls Thomas from the class and she asks, Thomas, what time will your mother come? I know she's working. She comes only in the evening for 5:36. Then he says, by that time our school will be closed. I'm very sorry, from tomorrow you need not come to the school. He asks why. So, hello. So he says, no, from tomorrow you need not come to this school. I'm very sorry for what I'm saying. Why? His question was why. He was very much interested in attending the school. Like that, in our students also, there are a lot of students who want to come to college. But somehow, whatever you are telling them, explaining them, it wouldn't be getting into their head. They will be struggling inside so much that they will not be able to express it outside. So with that turbulence when they are sitting in the class, when they are not able to answer your queries, they will be actually experiencing hell within their mind and they will be so much uncomfortable. We as teachers, is our responsibility to identify such kids and can we pamper them a little differently, just like how this mother did. How confidence building is very important, I would like to say. Now, a letter is drafted which very clearly was mentioned what was happening there. And the principal says, why we are asking you not to come from tomorrow? I will not be able to explain you, but I'll do like this. I've written in the letter, you give it to your mother. If you read the letter, you will understand it. Even the principal never wanted to tell the student on the face that you're a little slow learner. No, he also did not want to say that. He told your mother will read it for you. You please take this letter, you tell it to your mom will understand. He goes home and he's waiting for the 6:30 to happen. Once his mother comes back from work, she's working as an helper in various homes and some factories, and then she's coming back. So he's crying and he's waiting for his mother to come. As soon as his mother comes, Mama, the principal told I should not be going to college from tomorrow. Sorry, school from tomorrow. Why? Why is that? No, they have written the reason in the letter. Did you try to read? Yes, Mama, I opened it. You know, no, I don't. I am not capable of reading. I cannot read. Mama, I can't read, Mama. One day I will read this letter, Mama. Okay. For now, I will be going to read it. She picks up the letter and she reads the letter something like this. To the parent of Thomas Alva Edison. From the principal, this particular college, to the parent of Thomas Alva Edison, your son is a genius student. Students like him who are very genius, they should not be attending the classes with normal students. Hence, I request, please put him into a special school where only genius students are handled, or you teach him personally, because that is how such genius students can actually learn better. I wish all the best for his future. I wish all the best for you as a mother of Thomas. Yours sincerely, the principal's name. While reading that, there were tears in the eyes of a mother. She tries to control it and she wraps the paper and he says, this is written in the letter. My son, don't worry. From tomorrow, I will be teaching you as your principal has told you. Because your principal says that you are a genius student. So, genius students like you should not be in that ordinary school. मुझे भी ऐसे ही लगता है. I also feel the same. I am a genius student. That child will be there in every one of those whom you are addressing. You may look at his body and you may feel he is an adolescent age, but there is still that child in him. That child who is waiting for you to say, you can do this. Go ahead, you can do this. I know what you are doing is wrong. You shouldn't have actually shouted on me. I am your teacher. But still, I am forgiving you because I know the child in you is not talking right now. The devil in you is talking. And we have seen that devil days. We have seen that angel days. Some days you have lived your life so good that you will say, I think today if I am going to quote myself saying, how was my day? Did I live an angel's life? Did I live a devil's life? Some days you have lived a devil's life. In the same manner, in that kid, it is a devil's day today. You cannot help it. When these things happen, Thomas becomes so much motivated that for the first time he started feeling that he is not like every other student, because that was there in his mind. Every time they told, you are not like every other student. But the same thing which was told negatively, our mother transforms that confidence into so much of positiveness and she says, you are not like others, you are better than others. Till this time it was told, you are not like others, you are worse than others. The same thing was reprogrammed in his mind, you are better than others, you are genius than others. That's the reason we call them as special kids. We don't call the smart ones as special kids. Very, very smart ones like Computer Shakuntala Devi, special kid. Very, very smart ones, Vishweshwaraya, special kid. In the same manner, the other extreme of smartness, opposite, such kids are also called as special kids. And for the first time, his confidence is so high. He says, Mama, you start teaching, Mama. I'm going to become best than any one of them there in my school. And her mom wraps all her uniform and she puts it into a trunk, which was his favorite trunk, and she takes it and puts it into the shelf where his son cannot reach it. Days passes, months passes, years passes. It was more than 10 years, 11 years down the line, when Thomas becomes a small assistant scientist, and by that time he had done so much of equation that his house was well off because there was a lot of money flowing in. They wanted a bigger place to stay. So they wanted to shift from that place to a new place, and her mother was out, and her mother had told Thomas, please remove all the things, put it down. I will check whichever needs to be carried, we will carry. Whichever did not be carried, we will just put it here and then go. So as he was removing, for the first time he finds that trunk which was put in a gunny bag so that the trunk is not visible. And when he removes the trunk, he knows it is his favorite trunk. He opens the trunk and he finds his uniform there. He was so happy. There were tears in his eyes because he is recollecting those childhood days when he went to school only for a few weeks. And then with that happiness, he opens a small shirt. Inside the shirt pocket, he could feel there was this letter. And he remembers her mom had safely kept this letter inside the pocket of that school uniform. And she had hidden it. He did not know it was hidden. And he opens that letter and he starts reading. He wanted to read it loud because he wanted to recollect what his mother had told and what the principal had meant to him. And as he is reading loud, he sees the footstep of his mother coming. And mother also is with tears. And Thomas also is with tears. And Thomas shouts and he says, Mama, why are you still hiding this letter? You have already made a great scientist out of me. This letter cannot disturb me anymore. And the letter actually read like this. To the parent of Thomas Alva Edison, first it was from the principal, your son is a slow learner. A slow learner like him, not a genius student, he is a slow learning student. A slow learning student, like a genius student. Look at the interpretation. A slow learning student like him cannot be with normal students like them. He has to be sent to a special school where only such slow learners or mentally little challenged students are handled. Or, if you cannot afford, you will have to teach him at your home. We wish you and your son all the best. These were the letters written. When he read these letters, he was also with tears. He goes up to his mom, he falls on his feet and he says, Mama, thank you so much for writing this letter from me. I know what would have happened to me if you would have read the letter as it is. Like that, knowingly or unknowingly, as a teacher, we may create many such scars in the students. It's not deliberately. Most of the time, unintentionally, words are spoken in that reflexive action and it hurts the students so much. We are matured enough, we can handle hurt. But those are such delicate hearts, they cannot handle such emotions. That will remain a scar for a lifetime. And you know, men sometimes forget. The tendency of men is always that they forget. And women will not forget. And when I say women's, adolescent age, experience of everything that has happened will never be forgotten. Every good thing that happened will remain permanently in the memory, and every such bad scars that they create, they will never forget it for a lifetime. So, you are handling that particular age, so it is very, very important how we actually do that in the right manner. So, for that, this was the story to self-motivate yourself, because sometimes you will get into such extreme place where the student is not ready to listen to you. So, at that particular moment, an emotion drops into us. That is what we call anger. What would be the main reason for anger? Let us analyze. Anger is an emotion that naturally comes when things go out of control. I am handling a particular situation, it has gone out of control. When something goes out of my control and I don't know how to handle it, that one emotion that gets on to me is anger. I was holding on to the vase, all of a sudden I dropped the vase and the vase broke into pieces. Now there is no way I can fit it back. At that moment when the situation has gone out of control, I am feeling anger. Nobody did anything to me. It's a natural phenomenon that I start feeling angry about the vase, the time, the place, people who asked me to bring that vase, morning who made me wake up. All that will start actually getting like a wave and you will start feeling horrible. Right now at that moment, you are experiencing that anger. Why? Situation has gone out of control. It cannot be brought back. If Control Z option would have been there, nobody will get angry. I can always say Control Z and I can do undo. But because that Control Z is not there, there is a tendency that all of us gets angry. And when we get angry, that anger is one letter D less than danger. If I don't know how to manage that anger, my natural way of reacting to that is every action has equal and opposite reaction, same way. Depending on what anger I am holding on to, the same kind of reflective actions will start happening right at that moment, and that will lead to what is called as disaster, danger. So we say this anger is just one level less than D, which can lead to disaster, which can lead to a big danger, which cannot be again then controlled center. Most of the time you ask yourself, anger would have caused because of some things which went out of situation. But that was a small thing. When that was not managed properly and you became angry, and that anger led to a bigger disaster which was comparatively negligible of what happened to you at that moment. That is where blunders are happening. Can I teach this anger management to the kids whom I am training, and can I put that anger management to myself, because this is the most important lesson of my life. Can I handle anger? When situations go out of control, can I react in an emotions that is neutral, not becoming emotional at all? It is just few people's this anger that would have actually devastated and killed millions of people. All of you know Hitler's anger killed so many lakhs of Jews. It was simple. Lakshmana did not want to marry, understood super again. If he asks 100 times, give the same answer on the 100th time also. I am already married, I am not supposed to marry again. Please look for another person. You come to Ram, you ask him 1001 times, Ram would have told 1001 times also. You ask him 9999 times, still he would have told the same thing. I am already married, I am not supposed to remarry. Please go and look for another person. Simple. Same thing Lakshman could have done. But his emotions went out of control. He became very angry. In that anger, he did not know what he was doing. He thought he's fighting a demon. He was not fighting a demon. He was fighting a female. He was fighting a lady. And when he chops off his nose, with that anger, she comes and she actually pours that anger onto Raman. And Raman, not even thinking, a man with so much of principle, a man who lived his life like a best priest. That is what we call Ravan as. But still, that little anger that was smeared onto him, he was not able to control. He does one of the baddest actions of trying to kidnap somebody's wife. So it was one man's simple anger which created so much of blunder. The twin towers which came down, 9/11 or 26/11, it is one man's anger only. Osama bin Laden's anger, it collapsed the entire economic system of the entire world. Thousands of them committed suicide. It is not being told. Research says the tangible losses that happened because of 9/11 was not at all anything compared to intangible losses that happened because of that. Families had to come to the roads. They thought that is the most safest place. So can I control this anger? Can I teach my kids? Can I teach my +1 and +2 students to control this anger? If I can master this anger, that means I have mastered the world. The only difference between a happy person and an unhappy person is happy person knows how to handle anger. An unhappy person does not know how to handle the anger. That little bit of uncontrolled, out of box, or some situation which has gone out, in order to handle that, you express anger and you create a bigger disaster. So please, can I purge my anger as soon as it comes? Can I identify these angering triggers and see to it I work on myself so that such things will not trigger me again and again? Can I learn this? Which students we always experience that? I've told him once, I've told him twice, I've told him thrice, I've told him 10 times, but he keeps doing the same mistake. Anger naturally triggers in me. And I may shout at him, I may feel it is a punishing. But sometimes to what extreme punishing is a punishing, it depends on every individual differently. For everybody it is not the same. You know you have an elder son, you have an younger son. You know for an elder son, if I say something that is enough. If I scold him something that is enough, even for one sentence that I speak, will make so much of change in him that he will continue to follow whatever I have asked him to do. But for my younger son, I cannot use that one line and make him do the same thing. I'll have to say 10 lines. The same thing would be reversed also. When I scolded for my elder, one word I scold, he will start feeling so bad. I know I have to stop at that moment. All of us are different. The moment I am scolding my younger one, I know with one sentence it will not dent him. Because my intention is to dent him. Sometimes, what is the reason why are you scolding? You think scolding is going to bring a change in him? No, that is temporary change. Permanent change will only come by communicating. Can I communicate long enough to make him understand what he did was wrong? It works. If I communicate in order to create a pain in him, that creates a dent and that will not make him to volunteer and change his views and change the way he's handling things. It goes again out of the box. That's the reason we say when you are in anger and when you want to communicate, can I communicate in a manner which is being predefined? It can be considered as the great Chanakya techniques or it can be considered as Dale Carnegie techniques. That is what we are going to talk about. Can I make people fall in love with me? See, when people came into that circle of influence of Mother Teresa, irrespective of whoever they were, irrespective of what emotions they carried, she had that aura around her that people who came within the radius of 1 meter within her, they could not resist from smiling and having that godly aura in them also. That was the power of Mother Teresa. And for that to happen, she would have worked on her anger management right from her childhood, and she was an epitome of how she managed the anger and how she had abundance love towards anybody. No situations could actually make her angry. There is one such situation because anger management is a must for every one of us. Sometimes we get angry against our colleagues, sometimes we get angry against our seniors, we get angry against people working for us, we get angry against the office staffs, we get angry against anybody because we are used to actually expressing this emotion within us. But there was one lady, irrespective of whatever the extent of hurt she would have caused, she knew how to actually change it in a microsecond to happiness and love, and that was Mother Teresa. A story, maybe it will be exaggerated to make you understand in the epitome of how you will have to express love, not anger. It was one such day when in Calcutta, Mother Teresa and her group of people, when she was not even honored as Mother Teresa, she was an ordinary missionary who had one big dream that she wants to start multiple hospitals across the world for all the poor people around the world. A beautiful vision. It was not easy. Every day, every weekend, they always used to get into such so-called commercial roads and they used to collect penny by penny, rupee by rupee, rupee by rupee, and that's how they built this. And it is a dynasty by itself. One such day when a group of volunteers, when they were collecting, one businessman had a very bad day in his office. With that bad day in his office, when he was coming out of that hotel where he had his office, because the meeting went bad, he was completely disturbed, he was shouting at everybody, and as he was coming out, he thought out of sight, out of mind, my anger gets managed, and he came out, and as he was passing by, immediately a group of volunteers will go in front of him and say, "Sir," they show a small banner, there are a lot of poor people dying because they are not given medication. Can you help us with a bowl, with that white box, just like a dumb box? Sorry, what you call, where you collect money. With that, he says, "You useless people, always you're begging." This is that girl was there, she gets angry. She also says, if you want to give, give. If you cannot give, don't process like this, as though you can give. Get lost, he says. He becomes still more angry. With that anger, he is throwing a lot of abusive words. If I want to bring a devil out of anybody, it's easy. I can bring a devil out of any one of them. To bring an angel out of me, challenging. Personality development is a challenging because I have to bring that angel out of it. To bring a devil, very, very easy, very, very simple. To actually transform my students into negative habits is very, very easy. To bring them back to positiveness is next to impossible, and that task each and every one of you here is handling. It's not easy. At that moment, when he was with anger, he also did not stop. The volunteers are also abusing, he is also abusing, volunteers are also abusing. At that moment, he is coming like this, abusing, he is turning like this, all of a sudden, Mother Teresa is there. She is having an open bowl. And she looks at him and she knows that he is angry. I'm sorry. Sir, can you please help this poor people? Your private hospitals for kids. He was in that peak of anger because their own volunteers are abusing her. He did not know how to react. At that moment, what came into his mind? He spits into that bowl. Some bad words he uses and spits. This is from me. Look at her reflexive action. The moment that is done, she picks up an handkerchief which she had kept and she wipes it. This is okay for me. I'm happy with that. Can you please help her? That man could not handle his emotions. He was completely with tears. He would have been happy if she would have abused her. He also wanted to abuse her more. But he wasn't ready for her when she took at an handkerchief, wiped it, and she folded it. This is okay for me. I can handle this. But without money, the treatment cannot be completed. Please, can you help me? Oh. He could not handle it. He falls onto her feet and he says, I'm very, very sorry, ma'am. And that man is the first trigger who helped Mother Teresa, and he became a part of the mission. And he was the one who was responsible for the first hospital to come. And that first is always important. One becoming many is very, very easy. For that one to happen, it was important. For you also, for that one transformation to bring, it's okay. Sometimes we feel. Somebody went up to Dronacharya and he asked, okay, do you consider yourself as a successful teacher? The Chandragupta, the account man, or you can call it as judgment day. He asked, no sir, I don't consider myself as a good teacher. Why? I failed. I was not able to transform to Duryodhana. Not teaching skill sets is a teacher's profession. Teaching actually, humanity is actually a teacher's profession. That should come indirectly into your subject and that should be done on a regular basis. Somehow I was not able to do that and Duryodhana remained back and he died back. I could not handle it. So I don't consider myself as a good teacher. Do you consider yourself as a miracle teacher? Yes. One student made me believe that miracles are possible. If a teacher is having that energy in him, miracles are possible. And that is what happened. And he says that student is Eklavya. Most of the time in your class also, ask yourself, you will have students like Eklavya, you will have students like Duryodhana, you will have students like Arjuna, you will also have students like Yudhishthira, who will never tell a lie. And on the other side, you will have exactly opposite to Yudhishthira, every word she utters is a lie. You also know it. How will you handle such situations? That's why we say you are a Dronacharya, there is a hidden Dronacharya in you. There is a hidden Chanakya in you. The energy comes. When I go early in the morning, when I start my prayers, or even in your school when they start their prayer starts with this, oh God, I am getting into a place where I need to throw wisdom onto the students, and I know without me it's not going to be possible. Bless me with wisdom so that I am able to take care of them, I am able to transform them from what they are to something better. Please help me out, oh God. Because you get all sorts of students and one is different from others, so handling them is not going to be easy. This is one perspective of it. One more perspective of it, every class that you get into, your objective has to be, I am not here to just pour on to that academics and the subject what I am entitled to and then go out of the class. No, that's not a good teacher's vision. That means you will have to change your vision now. Along with the subject, can I imbibe certain interpersonal skills? Can I imbibe certain principles? Can I imbibe that respect towards the nation? Can I imbibe that he should have something that he wants to do to the nation, do to the society? If I cannot do that, then I have failed as a teacher. Being an academic trainer, no, that's not your scope. Your scope is along with that academic trainer, can I bring the future leaders of India? Can I bring those people who can lead India and take India on to the top of the calendar? And that responsibility lies in each and every one of you. For that, how we can motivate the students? What is interpersonal skills? How do you think we can motivate them? These are the few things we'll be looking at. What is interpersonal skills? One is academic skills is also an interpersonal skill, but along with that, these are the essential skill sets that is involved in dealing with and relating to other people largely on a one-to-one basis. See, when I am saying I am going to build a car, technical intelligence is also required. At the same time, interpersonal skills is also required. It's not a one-man army, one-man show. You will have to join together and then you will have to build it. So we go a little faster. Can I actually build this interpersonal skills right from the childhood? One of the best interpersonal skills that you can build, can you make each and every one of your students to speak? Can you communicate? Not non-verbal. Verbal communication. Can you make him verbally become a better communicator than what it is? That ability to make people communicate or interact is actually building up an interpersonal skills. Because exchange of knowledge automatically happens when you start communicating. When you don't communicate, there is no room for you to exchange knowledge. Always remember, when a knowledge comes as an input to you, what you gain is very little. When the same knowledge is taken to a second person, this knowledge doubles. We master that skill set. That's the reason what we say, when we are learning, we are just learning. If I want to master, I'll have to start teaching. The first step of starting to teach is, can I communicate whatever I have learned to somebody else? That is what we say, communication. When I can do that, I actually master the skill sets. Can I make my students do that? That is the whole idea. What is good interpersonal skills? These are those strong verbal and non-verbal communication skills. Non-verbal also. Non-verbal in the sense, I am not talking about writing skills. Non-verbal means body language, facial expression, eye contact, openness, and daring to go on the dais, look into the eyes of the audience and then speaking. All these comes there. So they are often considered as the most essential skills to become successful in life. You will always not remember the academic teachers. You will always remember that one teacher who taught you life lessons, because you know life lessons is what has taken you from an ordinary chaiwala to what is called as a prime minister. And you know that it is not the academic skills, it is the life skills and interpersonal skills which has taken a girl from a forest who should have lived in the forest and died in the forest. She was taken from there and made the president, the Draupadi Murmu. It is again these skill sets which made her as successful as what she is today. We should refer a man from the tribal community becomes the president of South Africa. Forget about this. A woman from a tribal community today is our president, the first citizen of India. And it was not because of academic skills, it was because of these skills. Draupadi Murmu in her speech still remembers the teachers who motivated her to become a leader, and she says, I always recollect that teacher because she did not want her to be academic performers, she wanted us to be leaders. Can you create that leaders? That is your responsibility. Today when Narendra Modi addresses as a leader of this democratic country, he says, I want the teachers to take an additional responsibility, be the Chanakya who brought a very ordinary slum boy and made him an emperor. I am not giving you slum boys, I am giving you smart boys and girls. Can you not make them emperor? Easy choice. He is not giving you slums. Okay, one or two you fail. But he is not giving you slum boys and slum girls. He is giving you boys and girls who are smart enough. Can you not imbibe that leadership skills in that so strong? Take it as a responsibility. You did not do Tirtha Yatra to generate what is called as that good karma. Let me tell you, right now, every day when you get onto a class and when you are standing on the pedestal, you are doing the Tirtha Yatra. I did not go to Varanasi and watch that Ram's temple and feel blessed. I am watching the Rams that I can create right now in my class. If I can create 10 Rams out of the people who are sitting there, those girls, if I can bring the 10 principles of what Ram had, it's as good as I had gone to Ram and I had worshipped him. Yes, there was a great sculpture. He built that beautiful Ram's idol and you mesmerized it. He is only sculpted a stone. God has made you a sculpture and He has given you living beings, real living beings. Can you not create a Draupadi Murmu out of every one of them? That is a challenge that you will have to accept. You did not go to Mecca, you did not go to any of those sacred temples, you did not go to the tallest church. Again, I am telling you, right now is a place when I get into a class and when I stand in front of the students, That is my place of worship, that is my place of Tirtha Yatra. Standing there, I can generate so much of good karma because I know there is one queue directly to heaven, and that is teacher's queue. And for that to happen, did you play the role as a real teacher? Were you the real Chanakya? Were you the real Dronacharya? Were you the real teacher or a mother who was a mother and a teacher of so-called the greatest scientist who had more than 1,500 inventions, Thomas Alva Edison's mother? Do you think you can take up that role? That is a challenge, and that is what has to be executed. If you want to bring success, this is the right time for you to trigger some positive thoughts into your students, bring them into so much of discipline, and see these people are not going to become ordinary, they will definitely become extraordinary. It's not easy. It's a painful, it's not easy. What are the range of interpersonal skills that you can build? If you can consistently keep talking to the students about active listening, yes, when I say you will have to actively listen, I should also actively listen. Am I an active listener? Can I make every one of my students an active listener? Very important. And are you giving them teamwork? Are you making them a part of a team? Are you involving everybody? Or are you only selecting those hands which raises every time when an opportunity is thrown as a choice? And only those hands are given the chance to do, and rest of the hands you also don't consider, because you know to handle the raised hands is very easy. Why? They have come by choice. To handle those hands which did not raise, then you are a real teacher. To take somebody from 80 to 85, anybody can do. To take somebody from 40 and make 50 in the same class, and take somebody from 70 and make him 75, that is a challenge. Heterogeneous handling is a challenge. And God has handled so many heterogeneous people like us. How challenging it would have been for them. So in the same manner, as a teacher, can I bring this? Can I bring that responsibility in him? Every person who says, I don't want to be in the part of a team, can you give him stories? Tell him how important it is to be a part of a team. Can you make him volunteer himself to get into that team? Any kind of an activity. Can you give everybody equal responsibility in a turn manner so that no student in your class is going to be neglected, and no student will be deprived of any such opportunity that is paid for. The moment he has entered this premises, he has paid for every such opportunity. One, people take it by choice, and that you need not handle them, they handle themselves. One more is who do not take it as a choice, you will have to force it onto them. Force that and make them a part of a team, make them take responsibility, tell them what dependability is all about. Can they become dependable? At the same time, are you dependable when your management thinks of this is the function, if I take up this man and this man, they are dependable, they are actually responsible, they can exhibit leadership skills, they can motivate their teammates, they have a flexibility of working. It is not that 9 minutes I log in, 10 minutes I log out. Think of a surgeon who is operating you and his log out timing comes, he has already put a small mark on your abdomen to remove something, log out time has come, no, I need to log out, tomorrow I will continue with the operation. This law of karma will lead you back. What you throw onto the outside world, the same ball will come back to us, but it won't come immediately. That's the beauty of God. When it is going to come, we also don't know. Good karma will come back. It will not come back with the same magnitude. It will come back, chappal parke. Wrong if you have done, that also will come back, chappal parke. So be ready for everything. Most of the time you feel, this colleague of mine, she keeps on taking excuses. I don't know, God is always on this side. Wait. Then she falls, you will realize, oh Baba, I shouldn't have done that. Otherwise I would have been in this mystery. With your little intelligence, sometimes people escape mistakes. I know. Sometimes you feel jealous about them. I know. But hold on to that jealous. Because we don't believe in this Janma only. One more Janma is also there. Huh? We believe in incarnation. If it has not happened this time, it will definitely happen next time. At least believe in this Karma. Because your intelligence may not be intelligent. His intelligence, don't doubt it. Have you ever seen sun being late by few seconds in rising? If he becomes late for few seconds also, 50% of the living things in this world will perish. That is how systematic it is. Nothing happens out of coincidence. Everything is incidental. So always believe in it. He can do miracles. Can I bring that? Conflict resolution. So don't be a kerosene pourer among your colleagues only. Not wantingly you do, but you do that. Wantingly or not wantingly, because we want pleasure, we want that kick. That's the reason we don't watch Ramayana, Mahabharata so much than we watch Big Boss. What message you will get there, but still you will watch Big Boss. Ramayana is going on and Pushpa 1, Pushpa 2, who antava will go on. Forget about the kids. You want to go for who antava. You will not go for Ramayana which is running in one mode. There was one animation movie which came up. During that time only Pushpa 1, Pushpa 2 also came up. There was one channel which were actually doing a small, it was a fun act only. But do you know the research told that most of them want negative pleasures only. That Pushpa pleasure only they want. They don't want this, which is that animation scene? Narasimha. Such a beautiful animated movie. When people walk in, there are 3 theaters, we'll give you the ticket free of cost. We have a ticket of Pushpa 2 and we also have a ticket of this one. Which one you would like to buy? Pushpa 2 50% the discount. But Narasimha ticket itself is free. But still most of them opted Pushpa 2. What to do? Zamana has had. And what about your kids? The same attitude they also have. It's not easy to handle them. Let me tell you, it's not easy. Whatever you guys are doing, actually, shabash yourself. You are doing a miracle. If you are able to hold on to the student and pass even 1 year, you have done a miracle. Most of the teachers that you see, I went to a teacher's profession. It's not easy to become a teacher. I've seen a lot of them have given up. No, 1 ವರ್ಷ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ 1 ವರ್ಷ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಆಡ್ಕೊಡ್ತೇನೆ they will make fun of me ಅಂತ ಒಂದು academic year. That's the reason. Nowhere else they will take the originals as a certificates. In academics, most of the schools take the original certificate because they know it's not easy to handle their reviewers. So they keep your original marks card and say if you are leaving only at the end of academic year, beach mein Gnatavasa, Vanavasa is not there. Ram ki tarah. So if you can spend 14 years, you would have become a genius. You would have that miraculous power in you. You don't know. You will have to channelize it properly and the miracles will come out. So can I give them problem solving skills? Lot of activities. Can I get them into a group process? Can I make them learn to negotiate? Negotiating with pleasure. Pleasure सबको चाहिए. Can I negotiate with pleasure? सोना सबको है. I want to sleep. It's a must. Can I negotiate and make it as less as possible so that my sleep also should not be deprived, my education also should not be deprived? That challenge is again a skill set which will have to make them grow. So can we speak from these perspectives every now and then? This is very, very important. This is what is being deprived from our education system right after the Britishers came and they left an education system which was merely meant to produce what is called as clerks. None of those generation people had that leadership skills in them. They were brought up with an attitude like a horse which had one objective that it has to see straight and they never thought us to see left and right because left and right would have made you a leader, so they put that high class which could only make an horse look in the straight direction because they never wanted you to get distracted. You should be a clerk and that is the door for clerk. All other doors are closed for you. And we followed it. And today also the education system follows the same. But national education policy, they built a lot of changes. They wanted more exercises, more personality development scales, more life skill classes, more skill-based classes, which is slowly happening. And you can see where is the world today. There is no such place when you take top 100 companies where Indians are not occupied 10% of the topmost positions. That is the greatness of India because that leadership skills is starting to develop and today it is exponentially growing. Can you teach them negotiation skills? Can you teach them persuasion skills? Can you teach them what emotional intelligence is? All these equally becomes important. So this has to be done on a regular basis in your classes also. And whenever you are enacting any of the verbal communication, I am not going to talk about discipline as long as I am not disciplined. I come to the class late or to the program late. I cannot expect students to do the same thing. If I say I will complete my portions by end of this week, I should keep up my commitment so that the students also will start following that, because they know when the teacher tells something, she keeps up this word, and if she expects us also to do the same thing, because she keeps up, I will not delay in keeping it up. But for a teacher who always gives excuses, students also tend to believe it's okay for me to give excuses. So that becomes very, very important. So critical thinking, problem solving, decision making, being assertive, being a thinker. All these we have already spoken. A little bit of Dale Carnegie's principles we will see, because that is very important for us. As a teacher, students look up to us as role models. People look up to us as leaders. So what we say and what we do is always observed by them. Let me be the basic discipline. Whenever I am in the college, I will not speak in any other language other than English, even with my colleagues. If I can do that, automatically students will start doing that. Draupadi Murmu was capable of doing that. Any kind of a principal. Every time she walked into the office, she always used to be before time. And every time a program was organized and she took the responsibility, she made it a point that she was at least 1 hour before all other students who were volunteers could come. That is what we call it as exhibiting leadership skills. You expect the students to come and you don't come, it doesn't work. So they look up to you as a role models. Do you have that creativeness, empathy, self-awareness, stress? All this is important, you know about this. So my idea was to more emphasize on these Dale Carnegie techniques. This is very important for a teacher. For a teacher, because they will be looking up to you as a friend also. They will be looking up to you as a teacher also. They will be looking up to you as a mentor also. They will be looking up to you as a leader also. So there is multiple responsibilities they take. And believe me, most of them also address you when they know, I feel this teacher is like my second mother. They will address you like that. So you have taken that responsibility also. So what you should do to remain in that responsibility? Otherwise, people will throw you. It is not a physical responsibility that they have allotted you. It's a mentally, they are logically given in their conscious mind a responsibility to you. When you become irresponsible, they will remove you. It will not even take time. They would have created a temple. They would have placed you until and unless you did not shout with her every time you forgive. And one day in front of everybody, how many times do you expect me I will have to correct you? I think from past 1 year, don't you think I have corrected you more than 25 times? Come on. She will be crying, but her subconscious mind will go to the temple, it will remove your photo, bring it and put it into the dustbin. You wouldn't have realized it at all. It's not easy to be a mentor in the eyes of the teacher every now and then. Now your challenge lies, what has happened. Now can I make her take that photo which was there in the recycle bin? Because it is possible. It's not physically she has put you into the dustbin. She can use recycle bin where you can restore things. She has not permanently deleted it. As long as that emotion is there. Next day when you call her and say, I'm so sorry, my should have shouted with you. I'm extremely sorry. She will search for that, she will go in that recycle bin, she will clean it, she will again bring it and she will put it into that place. To occupy that place is not easy. Every teacher has their role, can I do that? So, as a very good teacher, can I actually influence her and become such a friendly manner that there should not be any barriers between me and my student. They should completely trust me. So can I actually start become a friendlier person? That's the reason we say, can you actually follow this happy morning, happy afternoon, happy evening? Because most of you, it did not naturally come. For me, it comes naturally. When I say happy morning, it doesn't look like somebody is pushing that happiness words through me. It comes naturally. I thought one such session as a teacher you would have cultivated and it will naturally come. It's not naturally coming. Then where is transformation that you can bring in the kids when you're not ready to self-transform yourself? You should ask this question, why am I not transforming? Why that happiness is not coming to me naturally? Why am I not starting in a friendlier way to myself? I should be the person who is going to wish me only happiness the day I start my work early in the morning, because I know if I get up early in the morning, I should be blessed because I am living one more day. Where do you think maximum deaths happen? It's not in the streets. It's on the bed. Maximum deaths. Go and search ChatGPT because that is also one of the programs for 15 minutes what I will like to speak. Because technology is changing, perspectives are changing. If I stick to the world curriculum and then talk to the students, it doesn't work. Can I use AI and make them understand? Immediately go and research where is the place that maximum people die, and it will say it is in the bed where people sleep. Most of them do not get up. That is the place where most of them take their last breath. Among my relatives, I know a lot of them who have died. Everybody told the same thing. Tata Malukava Chanage Idro, Amen Ederle Illa. Grandma Madhyana Malgidro, Amen Ederle Illa. Everywhere it is like that. The bed place. And early in the morning, you open your eyes and you are alive. You should be the most happiest lady. Hello, I am alive. Look at your husband. Oh, this Bechara is also alive. So be happy. Or you wanted him to die, look at him, oh, he's not there, I am very happy. At least express happiness there. If you are happy, be happy. And tell yourself, happy morning, Malik. So, can I be that friendlier person to myself? That is when I say interpersonal skills, it is not interpersonal skills. First you start loving others, later first start loving yourself. If you can love yourself, you can love the outside world also in abundance. You hate yourself, you have kept most hatredness in you have kept the most jealousiness in you have kept the most stinking smell in you, and you are expecting the outside world should throw fragrance, because they may throw fragrance wherever you go, that filth will go. And people will start actually, they will not get attracted to you, they will start getting distracted from you, and the detachment will happen, attachment will not happen. Ask yourself, are you that friendlier person where a student is courageous to say, I can go up to my teacher and ask her, she will be ready to help. Are you so friendlier? That doesn't mean that you will ask them to, they will call you at 2 o'clock and you pick up the call. Your husband will say, I will look at one of the neighbor who is glancing at me. So you know you should not do that. But what you should seriously do, yes, are you that friendlier person who is actually, why most of you are smiling? It is not to look like Allah. Okay, I will not go there. Become a friendlier person. Can I become that friendlier person? Can I bring students to your way of thinking? It's not easy. They have their own reason why they are Gen Z. To make them think like how you are thinking, you need to communicate with them. To create the sculpture of that Ram, the sculpture had to hit multiple times. And then outsiders also started, it is looking like Ram now. Till now I thought, what are you doing? Now it is looking like Ram. So for that to happen, you will have to bring the students into your way of thinking. And can you be a leader first? Following everything that you want them to follow. That is what we call a be a leader. And create an attitude for yourself, that peace and happiness. Attitude in the students also, so that every moment of their life, whether you are teaching the most difficult lesson, whether you are giving the annual exam, whether you are having a fun class, let us have that attitude of having peace and happiness for yourself and for your students also. Can you create? It is possible. Last time we have seen how we can create happiness for ourselves. It is very much possible. So, for that one basic thing, even among your colleagues also, if you want to be that friendlier person, don't criticize, condemn or complain, because people don't like it. The moment you start doing that, criticizing, condemning or complaining, people get actually distanced from you. That is one of the biggest disasters. Most of them who have bad interpersonal skills with students or among colleagues or among seniors or juniors is because they always criticize, condemn or complain. So criticizing another person not only damages that person's reputation, but also puts your relation and dents your relationship. I know it is very difficult. We always say that if you can strictly follow that, when it is appreciation, you will do it in public. Whichever student has done a mistake, don't fall in front of everybody to your cabin. That itself is like punishing him. Can you accidentally meet him when he is all alone? Call him when nobody knows. If you can scold him, that means you have respected his self-confidence and you have not dead. That's very important. Most of the time when they do a mistake, you come and see me in my cabin. Is that okay? You say, enough. You did not scold. When he comes to the cabin, no, yeah, it's okay, I've forgiven. What forgiven? You called to the cabin, no. That is enough. Because for Duryodhana, it doesn't matter. You call him home also, it doesn't matter. But for Arjun and Yudhishthira, calling itself becomes the biggest mess, and he says, how will I handle this for my lifetime? The principal, the teacher called me to a cabin. It's a very big disaster. Do you think it's a simple punishment? No. Can you mend your punishment? Forget about the way how we were punishing in the past, because past you were the kids. Present, your kids are your kids. So there is a difference. There is a generation gap. You will have to change. Why don't you talk to ChatGPT? Why should I talk to ChatGPT? Your intelligence is your intelligence. Your principal's intelligence is also principal's intelligence, but it is an individual one man's intelligence of 40 years. Why AI? It is not one man's intelligence of 45 years. It is 1 million man's of intelligence in 45 years. Who is best? That is best. Accuracy is more there. So make use of ChatGPT. Make use of perplexity. So it's very, very important. So I will from today promise, all of you should promise. Promise, I from today will promise, I will never criticize, condemn or complain. You are not going to do it deliberately. One person who always appreciate, it is equivalent to you are criticizing the rest of them. Sometimes I say, I will always do appreciation in public, and you are doing that appreciation in public to one and only student who scores 10%, and rest of them, they will think, अब क्या बच्चे नहीं हैं. See, she comes. First thing she will do, na? See, those who are sitting there will appreciate. That's all. Look, 100 discharge. They will win. Because knowingly or unknowingly, our subconscious mind is meant. What you feel is, by doing that, everybody would like to become that. You will think, no. They will start actually, your way of treating him is not only disturbing your interpersonal relationship with others, it's also disturbing others' interpersonal relationship with them. They say, I never used to like those 3 students who used to score 7% in all the subjects, because every teacher only liked them. And we were just there sitting like chairs. And sometimes you do the same thing. There is no difference between chair and a student. You wouldn't have even used that child to actually appreciate even one simple thing once in a month. Can you do this? You should have a chart. Every person you should have uttered by name and appreciated something good about them. Make it an habit. Make it as a habit and do it desperately, compulsorily. For that you will have to come practice. It should naturally come. It should not be attendance ki tarah. Okay, yesterday I appreciated register number 1, register number 2, register number 3. Register number 4, 5, 6, Nitkole. It's good. All of you are blessed. No, don't do that. It should naturally come. And become a friendlier person. Use people's names. So names is very, very important. Do you know how much happy we feel? Hey, my man knows my name. Among so many should remember my name. And it should be for the right reason. Huh? उसने कुछ गलती किया है and you address it. Don't call her. She has done mistake. For 1 month you don't talk to her. Next month you talk to her. Then she will assume it is for the positiveness. So most of us, we do the great achievers' name we will remember, and the most disastrous people we will remember. Our psychology is people who create negative, they are remembered more. And people who create so much of positive, there is a tendency of forgetting. Can I change that? Can I remember the name? Because name is for a person the most sweetest sound, which makes him turn back and look at them. Even your subordinates, can you remember everybody by name? People who are working for the security guard, the helper, the office boy, everybody can you remember by their name. That is what we say a friendlier approach. So a name to a person and the person's name for somebody is the most important sound. Create a mind picture, associate it, and try to remember them by name. Even your old students, if you can recollect and remember them by name, when you find them somewhere else, they will not forget it for a lifetime. And they will tell all their friends, hey, today I met Lata ma'am in the mall. You know, she remembered my name, she called me by name. I felt so happy. So very, very important. As a teacher, your role. Become a friendlier person, be a good listener, encourage others to talk. Most of the time with students, what we do, I know when you are handling 60 students, you will not have time. But still, can I remove some time for everybody? Time deprivation is what your kids are also suffering. And even your students are also suffering. Can you give your personal time in a routine manner completely for one individual at a time or for a 2 individuals at a time? Undisturbed time. Just like that. I follow this routine that every time when I complete a class or for a training session, every day 2 people I personally meet. Or one person I personally meet. And what I discuss, I will tell you not to discuss with anybody. Make him feel that personal touch, that friendliness, just like a mother talks to their son. It can make a big difference. Try doing this. That is the greatest secret. Make him speak and you listen, because you are always standing there as a teacher and talking. Allow him. I just wanted to call you. If you like to say something, say something. If it doesn't, give him some questions, ask about his family, try to know. That makes him actually think that my teacher is ready to listen. And that encourages him, encourages others to talk. Can I do that? On a personal basis. If the 60 students you have as a class teacher, every day if you are spending it one in the morning, one in the evening, 15 minutes, in 1 month you can give personal time to every student. But only that student, nobody else. Make that as an habit. Bring people to your way of thinking. Again, I am telling you, first tell them what they are doing is right. You cannot always go and start with a wrong notion. No, I think what you are saying is right. This lesson needs a repetition. It will give you a repetition. So what we say, the only way to get the best, make your people think from your perspective, first say he is right. What happens by telling he is right, you get him very close. But by telling him he is wrong, you are cutting him there only and you are putting it across. You did not convince him. So the beautiful lines will be the only way to get the best of an argument is when a person comes telling, ma'am, this is not the right answer, ma'am, this is the wrong answer. Let me check. Let me check. Please come. Can you explain? That is, I am not getting into it. How do you know? I have done it multiple times. You know he is wrong. But still can you accept, no, he is only right, I am only wrong. Accept it, nothing will happen. Make him come close. That is what we say, can you bring it to your way of thinking? First aspect. Never say you are wrong. That is what most of the time we do. Never say you are wrong. Show respect for the other person's opinion also. And if you are wrong, admit it quickly and empathetically and you get them saying yes. That is what I mean. Making them believe and say yes. When somebody comes with a small complaint, when somebody comes with a small suggestion, do not upfront country. Now, instead of this, why don't we have it on Saturday? Everybody will be free. Saturday, I think you have a valid point. Then let me think over. Rather than cutting it off there only, let me think over. Any other reason why you want it on Saturday? You make it feel like it is not no. Once I have told it is done. There is no change of time. There is no change of time for the test it could be, for the assignment submission it could be. Look from the other person's perspective. Can you stand in his shoes and then think and see what he is saying may be right. He is seeing the other side of the court, so he is shouting it is tail, it is tail, it is tail. You are seeing the other person's perspective and you are saying it is head. He is also right, you are also right. Somebody looks from a higher perspective, they will find. For that we tell a story of 9 blind people describe an elephant differently. Why? All of them at that particular moment they are seeing from their shoes. One is holding the tail and he says elephant is like a long rope. One is using actually trunk and he is showing the legs and he is saying it is like a trunk. So all of them are right. Can I look from that perspective is very important. Be a leader. Can you praise your students? One of the craving that students have is, can I praise them? Praise, and it has to be an honest praise. Every achievement. A person from 55 jumps to 60, great. 90 to 95 is also great, but 50 to 55 is much more greater. So can I praise every small and big achievement of him? Begin with a praise and honest appreciation. That everybody craves, among your colleagues also, among yourself also. But that should not be icing the butter, it should not be like that. So when you are praising, there should be an honest praise in whatever you do. And whenever you want to criticize, whenever you have a place where you like to tell what you did was wrong, then we say, talk about your mistakes before criticizing the other person. I still remember my school days. You can tell as though it is not a real story. Create a pseudo story. I was also like you of 55%, but today I stand at 90%. So I strongly feel you also can jump from 50 to 90. Create stories like that. It will make them believe. Jambavata told, you can fly to Sri Lanka in one jump. And afterwards Jambavata said, it's not possible, I'm asking you to jump. But for him, it was possible. He did it because the teacher told it was possible. So you are that leader, can you pour that positive affirmation in you, not criticizing and telling as though it was my mistake also, I have also experienced. Let the other person say his face. When a mistake happens, you should not criticize in front of everybody. He has not done the mistake. That's the reason most of them follow this thing. Can I see you in my cabin? And then personally they talk to them. That's also good. Rather than scolding in front of everybody. All those who are not done, you come to my cabin and I will work with you. That's also okay. In group, not individually. So that you can do. Let the other person say this. Give the other person a fine reputation to live out. One mistake, do not keep it in your mind permanently for the entire 2 years of academics. Forgive and forget it. As a good teacher, yes, I have seen him doing a mistake, but I will not target him consistently for the same mistake again and again. And always remember, from your perspective, you wouldn't have created an art. But from his perspective, you would have felt it as an art. That's the reason we say, can you look from his perspective also? And ask for opinions from your colleagues, because colleagues will know what is the nature of your behavior. You should allow them to give a free critics, not in front of everybody. Personally, when they are at a tea time or a coffee time somewhere, hey, what do you feel about me? What do you think I should change? Am I not that friendly a person? Do I criticize content companies sometimes? Do I not address them by their name? Or am I not actually influencing my students? With the same principles, you can ask your colleagues the same critics, and they will be able to honestly tell you where you are following, where you are not following. And create an attitude of peace and attitude. That is what we have already discussed about. So some principles, and then we will go. The first one, very important. Can all of you repeat? Don't criticize, condemn, or complain. All of you loudly.
Don't criticize, condemn, or complain.
If I want to bring out an angel from my student, that means if I want to gather honey, I should not kick over the bee, because I need him to give honey again and again. That angel has to be brought again and again, and devil has to be completely removed out of it. For that, by criticizing, condemning, and complaining, it will not work. A simple word is, if I want to gather the honey, I will not kick over the bee. I will not do that. Okay, I need to know. And give honest and sincere appreciation. Everybody loudly, give honest and sincere appreciation. For all of your students, every achievement of his, can I sincerely and honestly appreciate. It could be extracurricular activities, sports activities, and don't consistently appreciate one person only in front of everybody. That even kids at home, they have felt it. My mom never used to like me. I have seen many kids say, every time she appreciates my elder brother because he is good in marks. He does anything wrong, it is forgiven. But if I do the same wrong, I will be punished more severely than him, because he is good in studies, everything is forgotten and everything is forgivable. No, do follow that attitude, because that may not be right. Next, arouse in the other person in eagle want. Ye who cannot do this, the whole world within. Ye who cannot walk a lonely way. That will be a little difficult, we will go for this. Can I create that want in every person? That I want that attitude of, I am a child today, but I can become a prime minister. I am a tribal woman today, I can become that president. I am a fisherman's son today, but I can become that. I am this Thomas Alva Edison who is little slow, but I can become that. Can I arouse in that person a want that I can do that? Lot of inspirational stories are there. Say second QC failed, one story was there. There is a student fails in second QC and he becomes an IAS officer. So can I create that want, that eager want, that I also want to achieve, also want to go to that. For that, teachers will be the tutors. You will have to work on making do that. And become genuinely interested in other person. That is very, very important, because you cannot